Okay, in this video, we will be looking at another two interaction between biotic components, and that are competition, and another one is predation. So for competition, it happens when organisms in a habitat compete in order to get basic needs, for example, food, water, light, and also mates. Okay, so under competition, there are two types, interspecific and also intraspecific competition. So the difference between these two is that if it is interspecific, so that means competitions are among different species. But if it is intraspecific competition, the competition happens among organisms of same species. So examples are given here. If it is interspecific, meaning different species are involved. For example, different species of plants, they are competing to get sunlight for photosynthesis. And for intraspecific competition, examples given here is competition among animals of the same species to get mates. Okay, let's look at factors leading to competition. Okay, for example, they are competing for space, for nutrients, for light, and also water. These are the basic needs of the plants, for example, and also for animals. They also compete for food. They also compete for shelter and also mates. Alright, another example of intra-specific competition between organisms of the same species, for example, paramecium species. If it is interspecific, so that means between organisms of different species. So here in this case also paramecium is given as example, but of different species, Paramecium aurelia and also Paramecium caudatum. Okay, let's look at this experiment to study the effects of intraspecific and also interspecific competitions among organisms. So this is the problem statements. We are to ask what are the effects of intraspecific and interspecific competitions among organisms. The hypothesis is that if the competition among organisms is high, the growth of the organisms becomes slow. Okay, competition high, the growth is slow. Okay, the variables is that we have different types of seeds, and we are looking at the responding variable of the height to represent the growth of the seedlings. Okay, other variables that must be fixed or constant, stay constant, involves the amount and also type of soil and also amount of water sprinkled, as well as presence of the same fertilizers, for example, and also like intensity. Okay, so the materials and also the apparatus. So let's look at the procedure. A, B, and C, these three trays. We have to label all these plastic trays accordingly, and to randomly choose 30 corn seeds, okay, represented by C. Okay, and also another 30 paddy seeds represented by the letter P. Okay, and we are to sow 20 corn seeds in tray A. For tray B, 20 paddy seeds, and for tray C, 10 corn seeds and also 10 paddy seeds respectively. And we are to ensure that the distance between each seed is 10 cm, and whereas the distance between the seeds and also the edge of the tray is 5 cm. We have to put all the trays in shady places, to water every tray with the same amount of water. Remember, look at this. These are under the constant variables. So we have to ensure that these factors are fixed. Okay, they are constant. So after a month, we are to randomly select 10 corn seedlings from tray A, another 10 paddy seedlings from tray B, 5 corn seedlings and 5 paddy seedlings from tray C. So in other words, we are to observe, to measure and to record the height of every seedling, and they averaged into a table. 10 of the seedlings from each of the tray. Okay, so based on the table, we are to plot a bar graph using the height of the seedlings in centimeters. So let's look at the discussion. Name the type of competition that has taken place. Okay, for tray A, look at it, all C, so that means all of the same species, so they are intraspecific. Okay, same goes to P, tray B, all P here, meaning all the paddy seeds are in the same tray. Also, what kind of competition? Intraspecific competition among the same species of paddy seeds. But for tray C, okay, we see different kind of competition which involves C and also P. So that means the corn seeds and also the paddy seeds, different types of species. So that's why interspecific competition is involved. Okay, look at question number 2. What are the sources that cause competition in A, B, and C? Okay, they are competing for minerals, for water, and also for sunlight. Okay, these are the basic needs. Okay, for number 3, which species is more adaptive? And you are to explain, and you are to compare the heights of the corn seedlings in tray A and C, and also paddy seedlings in tray B and C, and to explain. Okay, so this one differs based on the students' results, the students' experiment, but we are to look at the sample answers or the sample results given. Okay, let's compare corn in tray A and also corn in tray C, the averaged height of the seedlings. It shows that corn in tray A 40.8 cm, which is lesser than the heights. Okay, they are shorter than the heights of corn in tray C, which experienced interspecific competition. So that means for tray C, since they are competing among different species, okay, the intensity of the competition is much lesser, competing for the basic needs as compared to intraspecific type of competition which happens in tray A. Okay, we are referring to the corns, yeah? So that's why you can see that the height of seedlings for corn in tray C is greater than the one in tray A, the corn that are in tray A. Okay, how about tray B, paddy, and also tray C, those paddy seedlings that we are observing? It seems like for paddy in tray C, which is experiencing interspecific competition, to have smaller value than paddy in tray B, which is experiencing intraspecific competition. And so to say, based on these results, if we are to compare the species, different species in tray C between corn and paddy, it seems that the corn is more adaptive, adapting better as compared to paddy in tray C. We are talking about the interspecific competition. Okay, based on the data here lah. Okay, so there's a video for you to watch, okay, on the interactions between organisms. Okay, we have covered up those explanation on competition. Next is another interaction, which is predation, or we call it as the prey-predator hubungan pemangsaan. Pemangsa dan juga mangsa dan juga pemangsa, prey-predator. Okay, what is predation? It is an interaction involving an organism, iaitu predator, that eats another organism yang kita panggil sebagai prey ataupun mangsa. Okay, I'm sure this one you are familiar with this type of interaction and that you are able to give more examples other than the one besides the one given here between the owl, burung hantu sebagai pemangsa, eating the rats as its prey ataupun mangsa dia atau sebagai makanan dia. Okay, so this is predation.